Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 36 of the Glory Days podcast. Ladies and gents, we are back for another season of everyone's favourite shit show. Perth Glory Football Club, your favourite institution, is now back providing misery on the largest scale possible. We've been back in terms of the first team for about a week now. In pretty much exactly a week now since the Wellington game, and I'm already ready to pack it in for the season personally, but we're going to cover that all today. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. We've got the Wellington game to cover, the AC Milan game to cover, and possibly just a few notes on the squad at the current stage as well. But first of all, as always, we'll head it over to James for fan comments.
We have got so many fan comments from the post that I put out a few days ago, just to get brief thoughts. We've got thoughts from the Milan game. We've got thoughts from the Wellington game. The engagement has been fantastic.
Thank you guys for
you fucking sickos,
engaging.
But that's all right. So, that's the thing. Everyone's been waiting for this shit show to come back, and it's like, okay, we've had enough.
We've had people asking us for new episodes.
Yeah, we have. When are you guys going to be back?
You know, this kind of positivity is, I'm not really used to it, because normally I have people telling me, when are you going to quit on your main channel? We actually have people asking us when we're going to return, which is a nice change of pace for once.
Well, sometimes, Alex, you know, your videos can get international attention, as we saw with your Milan. That just happened to feature on a news site. Said one Perth Glory podcaster was
they
disappointed.
Called me a podcaster. They called me a podcaster. I've officially made it now.
There's the new full-time job.
The Back Four podcast, which you, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can subscribe to.
It'll be nice if you put that amount of passion you put into the Back Four into the Glory Days.
Excuse me, I bought this whole setup.
Don't leave me hanging, Josh. No.
Break his pinky again. Okay,
let's get into the fan comments.
From Muller, so Musti Amini was at the game.
Sorry, I mean. Oh, cool.
He was at the game, and Muller said it was elite trolling from Amini to zoom in on the scoreboard at 8-0. That was on his Instagram story.
Okay, did he actually post that on his story?
Yes,
he did.
He did.
Okay, I didn't see that.
He did.
Fair play.
That's fair enough. Georgie Shandor and Joya, disgusting results, but 3 months till season starts is heaps of time for things to change and get better. We aren't playing Milan every week, thankfully. Zrilic and Stan are on a very short rope for the new season, though. If we don't get at least 2 wins in the first 5 games, both out. Stan Lazaridis doubter. Suleimani looked all right against Milan. Need a new keeper desperately. Tom, I decided not to renew my membership, and boy, have I felt extremely validated. We will not see success under the terrible management of Zrilla and Stan. Once they go, I'll probably buy it in again, but till then, let's let the 9-0s keep on coming. Jordan, back-to-back wooden spoons incoming. Lachlan, Zrilla goes on about players not being fit or whatever, but like, do the boys just eat donuts and drink piss over the break? Because no other sport do players come back and be seriously underdone. Davey, I didn't renew my membership. I've been a member since the 1998-99 season. Went to the Wellington game and didn't see anything encouraging. Can't believe how the club has got, or how low the club has got. Even the fact that long-term staff like Brett Lambert and Danny Milosevic have gone and Glory have not acknowledged them.
Mick So cancelled his membership as well.
Sorry, did he say
What, for the
98, 99?
Yes, that's
the first time he hasn't renewed his membership over 25 years.
Yeah, seemingly, yeah.
Credit to you for being a member for that long, but also I'd say credit to you for calling it quits, because
I have.
Glory, if you want my $500 this season, you best be catering to my exact needs.
Steph, he said, the team seems to be judged by a lot of people after 2 pre-season games. One of them a draw in horrid conditions in normal time, the other being against Milan. Have to wait until round 5 of the season to properly judge. We've learned from last year that pre-season results are irrelevant. Daniel Del Borello had thoughts on both the Wellington and Milan game. So Wellington, he felt that we came in underdone, played like a team hoping to win, not one hungry to. Now we have to wait for another pre-season against NPL side, state team, or the unknown itinerary. No cup run excuse this year. For the Milan game, he said it was a chance to test players without risking points. Sure, but our reputation took a hit. 2 chances all game, and now we're global for the wrong reasons. Bet half of Europe's calling the WA government for their pre-season pump-up in 2026 and beyond. And then we'll have
Pre-season pump-up is outrageous.
Stompy for the last part. We've got so many thoughts, and we'll just cap it there, but we'll flash through the rest of them throughout the show. He said the same tactics, same play style, same lack of defensive awareness, same lack of attacking creativity. I 100% get it's against Milan on 4 days rest, but we've played Man United and Chelsea in pre-season, only losing 2-0 and 1-0 respectively. So yes, this is much worse. Yeah.
I can't say I was expecting much, to be honest, but I mean, we've only had three and a half weeks to train. But even still, have you boys listened to the Ben Foster's Fozcast with Joe Lolly?
I did.
So he said, why is your pre-season so long? Like, it should only take, a couple months to get to full fitness, which makes me going like, yes, they only had maybe a month, but they should still be...
Yeah, but the rest of the A-League gets pretty fit in that amount of time. Like, I don't hear these similar excuses coming from these clubs, but let alone the last couple of seasons.
And you look at you look at the performances that the likes of Sydney FC put up against Wrexham, or the likes of
Wellington.
The Sydney FC kids put up against Wellington. Yeah, exactly. You cannot convince me that Milan beat Wrexham 10-0. It's just no. But I refuse. I refuse.
The point is, there is no club that routinely bitches about being underdone and not fit enough than Perth Glory.
With the conditions in Perth as well.
James, I have something I'd like to say. James,
Yes, sir.
There was a comment there. It was like same as last season with everything. You know what else is the same as this last season? The people in charge. Whoa!
I heard that. Well, I heard this great quote from all people. You're gonna laugh at this. From Theo Von. All right.
Oh no. Where's this going?
No. He said nothing changes if nothing changes.
Cold.
Nostradamus.
Bro, shut up, bro.
But
on a real here, why are we expecting anything? Why are people expecting anything different? Nothing is going to change. Sure, we've made some new signings, but we've lost a couple of players. We brought a couple of players in. We've kept the same fucking sporting director who's had his head up his ass for the last 18 months. We've got a coach. We've still got a coach that is trying the same old decrepit fucking boring shit that has not worked in over a year. What are we expecting here?
I mean, we saw at the back end of last season it was working.
Mate, we're playing like a back end of something. Don't worry.
Well,
I think it's more to do, and I'm not having a dig at anyone, but more to do with the players, and I think there's a discipline issue.
Let's put it this way: the club have clearly invested in off-field stuff for this off-season. So I'm not sure how many of our viewers know this. Well, they should know that. We've been training from day 1, July 1, at the facilities up at Mirrabooka, where I think there's a gym that we use in the leisure centre part, and we train on the pitch that's next door. We have got a new head of high performance, so John Lucas. So his background involves being in the championship, being in League One, and he's been involved in various promotion-winning seasons. So he's coming in with a fairly good reputation. We've brought in. No, come on. I hope he stays.
Well, it won't be his fault.
By the looks of things, he seems to be a balanced guy that's fairly thorough in what he does.
He's amazing in his job, I'm sure. But someone, I'm not going to name who, will tell him to pack it in, and then he'll be fired.
Well, so certain people are going to see him sneezing in the wrong direction. He'll be asked to pack.
I hope not. Lucas is someone that's been brought in, so that would hopefully fix us being underdone. Yeah. We've got a new goalkeeping coach.
We do.
So it's a guy called, I'm going to get his name wrong, his last name wrong at least, but I think it's Christian Barberskak.
He's a German guy.
German was...
problem with you?
No, he was... No,
I'm just stating that he's a German guy.
No, he was... I forgot the club that he was with for the last few years. He was in Iceland more recently, but it was with a club in the Bundesliga for at least 3 years and seems to have a fairly good resume behind him. No. We've brought in Adam Griffiths from Wellington.
Yes.
So he is, in terms of assistant coaches that, work on the defensive side of things, he's one of the best in the A-League. So it's for me, as far as I'm concerned, a very good appointment.
Yeah.
But I can't exactly say that even though we've had that positivity in that sense, and we've also apparently invested a little bit more in some of the equipment that, the coaches use to help the guys train, after 1 month, and yes, it is early days, I can't exactly say after 2 games that I'm going, yeah, I can see already slowly that we're looking better now than what we were last season.
Well, we pretty much got a whole. Sorry, Will. We pretty much got a whole Wellington backline now. So how can they be good at Wellington and be shit here?
Well, I think
They weren't good at Wellington.
No, but
No, they were still decent.
They were good in the first season, not the
super
second.
simple answer for you there, Josh. What is the common denominator? What is the common factor that we are garbage beyond belief? What? Tell me what it is.
Guys, I wonder why.
Who's the one constant that's here?
Guys, I
all
want-
the time,
I just
on
think
the touchline
it's-
playing chill guys.
There's so many people to blame. It's hard to pinpoint one person.
Mr. El
Guys,
Tapatito.
guys,
Yeah, but-
and only do a backfire with 20 minutes left.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I think he has.
He
has.
was on a short rope last season, halfway through, and he's still on it. How
No,
long's the bloody rope?
Guys, I
Definitely
wonder.
he
I wonder
has-
why every A-League player that plays well at a different club comes here and is shit. I can never figure it out. Guys.
No, but I still think we played well at the back end of last season. We saw that. Yes, tactically we weren't great, but I still think there's it's more than just Dave.
What the thing was is that we played well in games where the conditions allowed us to play well. So for as much as I was probably the only one at the time in the Adelaide game, sort of going up as real as the next Ange or whatever, in the perspective of you guys. But the reason why we scored 4 goals was because there were the conditions for us to do so, in the sense of Adelaide pushing really high up and there being lots of space. And getting onto the Wellington game, where we had 64% of the ball, 17 shots for only 4 to be on target. We had possession that had no purpose. And all of the stats, if you want to break it down between when the new signings came in January versus before, we didn't really see too much of an improvement, and we still didn't get to a level on average that the sides that finished in the top 6 got to. So even though we saw a side that, you can say has a bit more quality, we saw this especially in the Wellington game, and it's not the first time we've seen it under David Drilic, where in the rare occasions where we've had lots of the ball, we look absolutely fucking clueless.
Look, I'm not defending Dave, but I still think it's more than just that you can't pinpoint one person. Look at stats.
No, it's not.
No,
one person.
we're not saying it's all on one person, 100%. However, it doesn't help.
It is the dynamic duo, though, that there are quite a fair amount of problems attributed to.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would say things would begin to look better if a certain someone wasn't in that manager.
Yeah. It's like if you had cancer and then your leg fell
Stop
off.
the cancer
Okay,
comparisons.
sorry. It's like if you had a debilitating illness and then your leg decided to fall off. Like, you're still going to be, you can't put the blame on one thing.
No.
But your leg falling off doesn't help, does it? It really doesn't help.
So, on
Rusty boys, aren't we?
here we are. So
It's been a
you
while.
will have to bear with us, viewers. So
You gonna believe that one too, James?
yes, no, I'm joking. So we've obviously made to sort of start off with things. So the Wellington game, we saw, was it 4 of our, is it 6 signings that we've made so far, or is it 5?
How many have we made? Suleimani, Sutton, Wooten,
Caltac.
not Gamulka, Timmins,
Caltac,
Caltac.
Birras.
Beerers.
At least 6 or 7.
I could have sworn I heard we weren't going to make more than 5.
Who
Or
knows?
6.
Who knows? I think it was 7.
Oh, really?
Was it?
I think Stan.
One
said
more
there
to
was-
go.
I think Stan said there was 6 to 7 starting 11.
Oh, did he now? Did he
But
now?
I'm still so confused. What's the deal with Millet, Dave?
David Williams, as far as I understand it, has retired.
But
And
I know that's speculation, and I assume that's the truth. But
It's
where's
well, the club haven't officially confirmed it. The last I heard about Mila Jusnic is that he could possibly be off to Wellington.
I have information that would say that he's definitely retired.
Yeah.
As I said
Yeah,
earlier. I
Willow.
don't think it's not a very well kept secret. But
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
obviously I was speculating that. But
What do we think about the signings that we've made so far?
better than last season. I will be honest.
For the large part, not bad business. The only problem is that we were expecting very, very heavy cuts because they made it very clear that they only wanted a squad with, what did they say, 21 to 22 players?
23 to
Yeah.
25.
23 to 25 players. And currently, we still have a massive squad because we haven't announced the releases for certain players.
Yeah.
They've been very late on denouncing departures. I don't even know if they haven't even put out an official announcement for guys like Okamoto. I'm pretty
They did.
sure. Did they put out
Yeah.
one for him?
Yeah.
they?
And Masao.
thought
And
they just
Masao,
did
sorry, I did
Masao,
see
though.
that.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
email. Yeah.
But still, we're waiting on further departures. We haven't had any updates on them. There were guys that we were told by good sources were fairly certain to be leaving the club, and then now they're sticking around.
Well, we felt that there were at least a couple guys that we thought it's unlikely where you're going to get your opportunities. You might it wouldn't surprise us if they left, but they're still here.
Who do we think should leave?
Ooh,
Let's play a game.
No.
Didn't we do this in the last
We'll
episode?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I'm not gonna say names, but I don't think it makes sense having so many midfielders.
Say names right now.
Yeah, fair.
Do it.
Well, Gamorka and O'Neill. Let's.
Oh.
But it's. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, sorry, Brandon, you're not.
no, but it's not just that. It's also that we've built a squad, and Alex, I know you like this idea, the whole idea of a 3-5-2. Yes. Because it's like Inzaghi ball, but that's the thing. When you've got 5 good centre backs that could very easily start a claim or have a claim that they could start, and you've got 6 centre midfielders. Unless you're trying to create a squad that allows you to have, let's say a back 5 usually and 3 in the midfield, that's overkill. And I think in particular, Wooten is a good player, but I also think, is he really suited to the high press system that David's wanting to do? I'm not sure. I think Caltech's a good signing.
Him being in a 2-man centre-back pairing makes him do way too much recovery running. I don't think he has the physical.
He got exposed badly against Milan.
Oh, 100%.
But then again,
even against Wellington, you have guys like Sloan Rodriguez running up against him. It's just like...
Well, you could see there was a huge difference when Caltech was on how high our defensive line pushed up straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and the thing is as well, as much as I think Scott Wooten is a class centre-back, when you put him on the same side as Sam Sutton, it's just asking for problems. You have Sam Sutton, who's by all means probably one of the best wing-backs in the league. He bombs forward. He creates chances with crosses, sure.
Yep.
He needs someone with more physical capability down his side for that recovery.
Just the speed.
I'm sorry, but Scott Wooten is not that man.
Yes, Will.
Kanga.
Fuck off.
You need to stop. You need to stop right
I
now.
just had the.
No.
No.
5 minutes.
So Wellington, the starting lineup obviously was Sale, Sutton, Wooten, Majex, Risdon, Timmins, Gamorka, Renasmo, Blair, Suleimani, and Osler. What did we think of the starting 11
For the Wellington game?
For the Wellington game.
I looked at it and I thought,
Ass.
absolute ass.
Yeah, that.
Cinema.
I was very surprised because we can't mention names because,
Who's we?
Who's we, buddy?
us, the pod,
The podcast.
you twat.
I mean,
Obviously, we can't mention names, but we heard from pretty good sources that there were a couple of players that were fully expected to leave the club that did actually end up staying. I think we can mention the player names because it was quite widely reported. But Nathaniel Blair and Taras Gamorka. I've even spoken to players, and we've spoken to people that said no, they were fully expected to leave. Which is like fair enough, you know what I mean?
But it wasn't like out of a bad thing. It was just like where
not at all.
are your
It's just-
opportunities going to come from?
Yeah, exactly.
I was
Okay.
told by someone I normally trust that Nat was going back over east
To Western Sydney.
Yeah.
To Western, yeah.
That's
Exactly.
just changed, but things change. I just was very confident that was happening because it makes sense for him because we've just got Somani and Taggart and we're looking for another one. But it's just like, why would you stay when you're not going to get one?
I didn't hate the lineup.
Why's that?
So,
But obviously it wasn't the perfect lineup, but I thought it was a decent balance
Why do you think it was a decent balance?
because I thought it was nice to see Timmins come in.
Yep.
Because he added a little bit more. I mean, I haven't seen him yet in glory colours, but I thought he.
You saw him against Milan.
No, like.
Oh,
before,
yeah.
at,
Okay.
at the time
Yeah,
of the
sure,
Wellington
yep,
game, but I thought he'd add a bit more. Like I feel like we're really lacking sort of like a creative midfielder. Because I don't think we've had that flair for a while. That's I've got a big problem with. No. Okay, I've got a big problem next season. I really think even if we sign someone like Joe Lolly, who's speculated, I still think we're going to really struggle in our midfield still. And I know John Richardson says a lot on Twitter. But like...
He says,
No. But like, I see it, and I agree with him.
No, I do. We've been saying in the group chat for months, even last season, that we needed 10.
And I do think if we're not going to get that big marquee Castro, I think Timmins... I think he'll be a big addition, like underrated addition to our squad.
He'll be a good depth. Josh, if you're suggesting to me that Callum Timmins can be a stopgap number 10, we're gonna have some issues.
do you mean as a 10, or do you mean like in?
He's a great midfield rotation
How would you
option.
deploy it? How would you deploy your best midfield? Because you've obviously got Amos and
Pennington and Timmins.
so you do a midfield 3. Would you have
Yes,
so
I'd do a
would you
midfield
have
3.
Amos holding, or would you have Pennington as a 10? How would you do it?
I'd probably have Amos holding out.
And then
That's the only
Timmins
one.
and Pennington ahead.
Yeah.
See, that's fine.
That's
but
what we should be fucking doing.
that's absolutely fine if we can't get a 10. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And it opens up a spot for Freeney and Gamulka to come back into the side. And
yeah.
O'Neill
Even
to keep
O'Neill,
his spot.
even O'Neill, yeah, is a number 6.
But with that, you also need to accept.
I don't know.
But with that, you also need to accept the fact that we do need another striker. Because you can't be going into the season with one senior striker, that being Taggart, and the rest being youngsters. You look at the rest of them. You have Blair, inexperienced at A-League level for the large part. Suleimani, pretty much the same. He was Melbourne City's 5th choice striker last season for lack of...
Coming off a long injury.
coming off the back of an ACL injury.
Yeah.
You have Joel Anasmo, who doesn't really play as a striker but has shown promise, but once again, inexperienced. Quiet and Go, the exact same. Despotovsky and Bulgaria, not natural strikers, can maybe sit behind Taggart a bit, but... once again, young and inexperienced. So we're lacking serious
Squad balance.
Serious squad balance, yeah, absolutely. But in terms of the experience of our forward line, there's barely anything there. And I think the major problem against Wellington was that lack of experience. I knew it was going to be a problem when we didn't start Taggart. Look, I thought Blair and Suleimani, I didn't mind because I thought it was exciting. I thought we would see some pace. I thought we'd see some good creativity. And to be fair, I will say this, and I might cop shit for this, I think Blair has improved. Since last season, I think he has gotten better in terms of his movement. I think his movements looked good. In the Milan game, I thought his hold-up play looked good. His only problem, and this is a big problem,
He can't
his finishing.
shoot.
His finishing has given me the shits already. He missed 2 1v1s in the first half against Wellington.
Yeah, he did,
he
yeah.
missed a 1v1 against Milan.
Yeah.
He
Hello,
is-
Will.
Hey, you can get.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I agree.
Look, Suleimani has quality as well. We saw it briefly against Milan there, but he actually does have good on-the-ball quality. But the only problem is he's coming off the back of an ACL injury and he's not experienced. He looks like he can pair well with Taggart, don't get me wrong. But we need someone else there.
So
you need another mentor.
For me, so just have a listen to this stat, Will. Between Quiet and Go, Joel Anasmo, Arian Suleimani, and Trent Osler in the Wellington game, how many shots do you think they all combined for?
3. And 2 of them were from Nathaniel Blair.
Will, what do you how many do you think Ngo, Anasmo, Suleimani, and Osler combined for throughout 120 minutes of football?
2.
I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
4.
No, you're right. 2,
Yep.
both of which were blocked.
Yep.
We've got
I can visualize
we've got a serious problem with our attack, and I think striker is one problem, but I think wing is a even bigger problem.
100%.
I think it's a major problem because, I think our defense is in good order, and I think our midfield's in good order.
Yeah, no,
I think
And
we're really lacking a left winger.
You are lacking a winger and a striker like there is no tomorrow. Well, a goalkeeper, sure, but
The only thing that's saving me from the fact that we're probably going to get the spoon is the fact that Western United
Yeah,
might
Golden
be
Spoon.
lining up with a strike partnership of Ollie Lavale and fucking Jake Najovsky.
I was thinking possibly
So-
more folding, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
think-
Well, to me, I hope they stay in the league. I hope they stay in the league so that there's a team that's going to finish below us. That's what I'm hoping for at this stage.
But
No, but on the positive note, that if they fold, that means we can't finish 13th again.
we can finish 12th.
Yes, we're going to be better than last season.
like promotion.
about squad balance, Alex, and I agree it sucks, especially when. Now, I'm not saying you did a bad job. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah. All of you,
Oh.
right? But
This is personal
in
now, boys.
Yeah.
in the Wellington game, in extra time, when the bib comes on to play as a winger,
He played right wing, bro.
I would have thought you would have put.
what was that?
I would have surely thought it was Sutton and Risdon.
Yes.
You guys can push high because
Yes.
they were our only creative outlet.
James, you're using your brain.
I know.
You
You're
know it would have
supposed
made.
to do that.
You know it would have made more sense if you want to bring on an extra centre back and you have to take on a winger. We should shift to him.
A back
Again, boys, hey,
a back five.
using your brains. Clearly, that's not the job. The job is to go, hey, I think you should go here. That's it. That's the job. Well done.
I don't
Get
know if I-
paid 6 figures. Oh,
Who knows? But the point is, we should. I mean,
You spilt my water, Will.
you deserve it.
so Blair did have. He had a chance early on that he hit straight at Oluwayemi. I think Oluwayemi, to be fair, he came out for both chances that Blair had very quickly. His goalkeeping, to be fair, that game was fairly good. It demonstrated that there are concerns over Risdon in a back four at right back.
Yep.
There was a chance that Sloan Rodriguez had, and if you watch the replay back, there was a huge gap between Majex and Risdon because Risdon had preemptively gone out to try and apply pressure, but that pass wasn't going there, so the pass was played in between he and Majex. He can't recover in time, and we've seen that as a problem since last year. And Wellington's goal. Look, I love Anasma. I mean, he should have been getting far more game time last season, as far as I'm concerned, at least off the bench, at the very least. But he got caught on the ball for their goal. There was a quick exchange between Ishiga and Brooke Smith. Great effort by Brooke Smith, which was... I know you two boys were obviously at the game. I was sort of having to sit on my side and have a drain next to me and watch it in rather uncomfortable circumstances. But I thought the save from Ollie Sale was
Super Ollie Sale goal.
Pretty,
I will say, at that current time, like on the pitch conditions, weather, wind.
Shit.
No. We had a bit of a break. Like there was no rain.
Yep.
The wind had died down.
So
there was no other than the ball being wet.
Is there any saving grace for Ollie on that?
No.
The ball was wet. That's all you can do. But he's got gloves on, which should deter that. There is no.
My problem with that from Ollie, if he tries to catch it and he drops it, I can understand because the ball is wet.
Yeah.
However, he's gone to palm the ball, he's missed it with his palm, and he's hit it with his fucking wrist. The ball has hit his wrist and dropped straight down. He's completely mismanaged that shot.
You could also argue that maybe the centre back should have been there quicker for the second ball.
Well, Majex and Risdon...
Well, you can argue that, but the thing is...
I'm not saying that that's a valid argument.
You'd expect your keeper to be able to palm that one out.
That's not the first time, though. We've had a goal conceded where Sale has made a save.
Is it?
No, hold on. He's made a save and he's pushed it to his right, and our defenders have been slow to react to it.
The thing is, he didn't push it to his right.
Or no, it just deflected. And the point is, the attacker reacted quicker than our defenders.
Oh, shit.
Goose!
The thing is that I would just think that in the defender's mind, for right or wrong, is it working?
Yeah, it's
I think you're working.
I just had to check it.
For right or wrong, they probably just expect Ollie to be able to make a save where they don't have to run to the goal line to stop the ball from going in. They're probably expecting him to be able to tip it over the bar or out for a corner because that's generally the basics of goalkeeping. For a shot like that, it's a wet day. You go, you know what? I'm not even going to try anything fancy. Just push it over the bar.
Initially, it looked well for him to get to the shot, and it's like you're almost there, and then it's like, fuck, you've just. Yeah.
And then on the replay, it was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, and then Kelly Hill.
Another one.
So yeah, Blair had that
pineapple head.
Blair had the chance in the 33rd minute, where again, Alex, to your point about movement, it was his action when he was pressing that caused the mistake from Isaac Hughes, and then he only, unfortunately, again, the poor bastard, he hit Olawayemi again. And then chances were few and far in between because our possession principles and our structure absolutely fucking reek. I mean, Alex, I know this is an extreme example, but given we've had an extreme example only on Thursday against Milan, you've seen Man City play, you've seen how they are when they have possession, and then obviously you're going to have to scale it down quite a fair bit to glory, but when we have the ball and it's settled, we look shit.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to compare to Man City because Pep actually ruined football.
He did!
Whoa!
Boys! He did!
That's one from each of you now. What am I going to do?
No, but you're completely right in the assumption
that
or
Pep
the observation that we are absolutely shit when it comes to playing out from the back. And here's the thing. I don't understand Dave in terms of what he's trying to achieve here because our midfielders don't drop back into good enough areas to be able to successfully build up the play. And when we do have majority of the possession, and we do have a team like Wellington that sits off, we do nothing with the possession.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely interested to see how many corners and crosses we had down, either corners whipped in from Sutton or crosses from Sutton side.
Would you like to know how many crosses we had?
I would love to know.
Crosses in general, we had 40.
Okay, does that include corners?
That does include corners.
That does include corners.
Yeah.
So that's 40 opportunities from wide areas that I would consider.
Yeah.
None of which we made any use of, apart from a scuffed corner that we managed to score a fluke goal off of. I don't know why.
What is?
But I feel like that's always been.
You said here's the thing.
When we had
so I was
stats,
just
I thought that was an issue.
giving you.
Well, it is no.
thing.
But Josh did make a good point. To be fair, about the fact that our chance creation is shit. And
It is,
the
but-
numbers back it up.
Media.
We have no idea how to break down an opposition block aside from hopeful channel balls and hoping that teams
Trent Ostler crosses.
try and press us and then we can play in behind.
Josh
We're so
Risdon
limited.
crosses.
Well, that's the thing. Risdon well, Ostler had 6
Taggart
crosses and he had none that were on target.
Oh, typical.
And Callum Timmins
But,
crosses.
well, Callum Timmins had a few that
all
weren't
the
on
long
target.
shots.
We had, that's the thing, 9 out of 40 crosses that were on target. So we were
Joel
so
Nasmith
cross-reliant. We had guys that couldn't get shots off. We couldn't
Police
test
help.
Oluwayemi anywhere near enough. And it's rare that I'm agreeing with Phil Moss in commentary, but he was like, because the commentator that was next to him was saying, oh, the Wellington defenders have done such a great job today, haven't they? And then Phil Moss was sort of like, yeah, but they haven't really done that much. Glory haven't asked enough questions of them on
Yeah.
the ball to try and, unbalance them. And I just think for as exciting as it might be, the idea of playing those 4 youngsters up front, in terms of a structure and balance,
Exciting.
was it actually beneficial for us against a side that was going to sit with 5? Because on your vlog, you were like, shit, Wellington are going to play with the back 5 and we've just gone with that as our front 4.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And lo and behold, things didn't change until we had Adam Taggart as the 9 and Bulgaria as the 10.
But one of the most telling things that I thought personally was, and you showed us this post-game in terms of the average positions of our players,
Yep.
was how tight the wingers were sitting. And
Oh,
if
shit,
we,
yeah.
And the fact that we had wingers sitting so tight, but no creative presence. Look, Joel and Asmo, great runner. Great 1v1 runner.
Yeah.
Bright spark when he's given width.
When the preconditions
When he's
allow
given
it.
width.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Trent Ostler can't play narrow.
No.
Is acceptable out wide in the fullback area. Personally,
Yeah.
not a great, not a great,
Oh,
not a great
White.
Gwitty.
1v1, not a great
Wabbit.
Grimace shake, not a great 1v1 runner.
Sound like
all right?
average.
Not a great 1v1 runner, but is serviceable in possession on the line. Neither of those 2 players can do anything when it comes to creating from those sort of half pockets.
Yeah.
They provided absolutely nothing in terms of creativity. And I love Joel, I love Trent sometimes, but they did nothing in terms of creativity.
But what was the
They ran, sure.
No,
they did nothing
What
in
was
terms
the
of on the ball.
but what was the movement like ahead of them in general? Like, the thing
But that's the thing is
It
that
was-
no
it
no no.
was
But
stale.
let me just say. Let me
Okay.
just say. I understand the movement ahead wasn't great.
It was
but at
nowhere.
the same time, they're playing a
man.
low block back
Man.
5.
Yeah.
We're playing with 2 inverted wingers with 2 strikers. Yet neither of these wingers are good enough at creating on the ball. Sutton was overlapping like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And we had no creative left winger who was able to play him through for these balls. He did get through a couple of times, but Joel gets dragged either way too narrow trying to get on the ball,
Well, you-
or he sits too far
where
wide.
was his average position?
It was deep at
It was-
left
it
back
was left
because
back.
Sam Sutton was getting
Yeah.
forward and Joel wasn't able to control that half space.
Yeah.
So he has no
I didn't notice that.
he has no spot there to control. This is where you need someone who's able to cut inside and actually take control of that creative burden in the midfield.
Now, what
Look,
did
I'm not expecting us to pull another fucking Castro out of nowhere.
Which we won't.
I'm not expecting us to pull another. I'm not even expecting a Joe Lolly to come. But I would take someone like a Dimi Petratos or like a Danny De Silva. Just because, and not because they would revolutionize the way we play, but just because I think the simple change of having someone with a bit more creativity and a bit more experience on being able
We've
to
been lacking that
play
for so long.
from those areas would be opening up so many options for guys like Sam Sutton on the overlap, for guys like Nathaniel Blair with his runs, for guys like fucking Suleimani and Taggart when they can peel off their defender.
It's too cosmetic because the problem is, and will like me saying this point, David's system is flawed.
But I agree
Ow.
with Alex that we're long overdue for
No,
a
'cause
creative
James
player.
agreed with me.
We're really lacking
Well-
a creative player.
well-
We can't.
And that's on both sides as well. Look, I understand wanting to stick with a wide winger on the right hand side because Risdon can't overlap. That's
He was playing inverted.
I know that's
a lot of the
absolutely
game.
fair enough, right? Absolutely fair enough. However, Ostler was tucking in inside,
Yeah.
and when he was going onto the outside, he had no support. They need to remember Ostler cannot do 1v1s because he's not quick enough.
Yeah.
He hasn't got that low center of gravity. He's got a bigger body.
It's the
He's
pass
tall.
range as well. It's the pass
His
range.
pass range is
Yeah.
not that great.
Yeah.
He can cross okay.
Let's
He can
just-
cross okay,
but
but he needs someone
It's-
to help him get
but
into
it's-
those areas.
But it's not just on Trent though.
I'm not saying it's just on Trent.
I know, but
they're
just
setting him up to fail.
Yeah, I know. The system itself is shit, and it doesn't allow for players to really thrive. I mean, for me, there's been a lot of discourse among Glory fans about should we be going for a number 10, and I think yes, a number 10 would really help things as is, but I think when we eventually talk about the Milan game, two of Milan's most constant threats throughout the entire game were Chukwueze and Jimenez. They were both players that were playing really wide, and whenever they would be on the ball, because they'd be isolated out wide, they would cut in and cause so many problems. We don't have that. That's why we're so limited whenever we have the ball.
It's also Milan.
That's why Italia... Yeah, I know that's Milan. It's an extreme example, so you're going to have to bear with me.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Italiano would have gone, right, Glory beat us by going counter-attack when we beat them 2-0 in Wellington in the back end of last season.
Yeah.
Italiano said, we're not going to allow that. That's why that's why they said, sweet, we'll sit back and then we'll counter-attack against you guys.
Yeah.
Because in terms of where the game was played the most, where the passes were most frequently, the game was more frequent in our third and the midfield third.
Yes.
Only 28% of the game was in Wellington's third.
Yeah.
And we only had, I think it was 14 or 16 more total final third entries and passes in the final third than Wellington the whole game.
Because we just did nothing on the ball.
You know what doesn't help against Milan as well when they have two incredibly technical wingers that are able to get space outside and operate in those half spaces? You know what doesn't help?
Go on.
When we play an entirely flat four fucking midfield in a straight line and give them the entirety of that space on the inside channel. How the fuck did we take so long to revert to a back five? We took until after the 7th goal, we reverted to a back five for 20 minutes and they didn't score. We then changed back to a back four and they scored twice in 5 minutes.
We'll touch on that a little bit later.
You know what's just dawned on me?
Go on.
Dave's system, which you rightly said is awful.
I said it's flawed.
No, it's awful.
It is awful.
Okay.
It's like FIFA, right?
Oh.
In the plainest way, just to put this super simply, right?
Yes.
It's like picking your formation on FIFA to play, you're loading into the game, and in the first second, you 2-foot someone with your 10, send them off, and then you play. And you don't change tactics. Because
that big hole.
Because it's this big hole. And the way he plays the wingers, it's so ineffective. They may as well just be one instead of the two, because they don't do anything that would result in actually being helpful.
You know what else it's like? Another FIFA analogy. Okay. It's as if you play with no custom tactics. You just set up
the standard settings.
The most basic standard setup.
Yeah.
You just put it out there.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything outside the box. You're not trying to do anything specific. There's no planning. It's just I'm gonna put it on the field and I'll just see what happens.
The big concern,
it's just like a 10-man team with no tactics.
The big concern for me was when you guys told me that after having spoken to one of the players and the question was asked, are we going to see a change in system or David's way of playing next season? And that player said no.
Yeah.
That was a big
Yeah.
for me.
If you want another FIFA analogy, it's like playing the kickoff glitch that was patched in 2017, and we're still trying to make it work. It just doesn't work.
No, that's
pretty
so
that's
right. That's the best one.
Fucking
That's
hell.
perfect.
So we had a few chances at barely any point throughout the whole game against Wellington. Taggart got that goal. Again, when he and Bulgaria came on, that's when things changed, and Bulgaria was zipping around, and we started to look a little more alive. They Wooten had a header that he was unlucky not to score. Taggart obviously equalised in the 89th minute. Wellington probably should have won it with the last kick of the game, where if Supik passed it to Kelly Hill, where that shot deflected over the bar, that could have been game
Wellington
over for
should have also had a pen.
They should have.
Oh, that handball was outrageous.
Dude.
Well, not just the handball.
I got a slow-mo vision of it.
There was the
I saw.
There was the Ishiga when he was tripped up by.
Oh yeah, there was 2 pens.
So the one where he was tripped up by Majeka Dunmi, that came from a pressing situation where there is still hesitancy within the players, and I can somewhat understand that with it being you having new guys in the team and it's pre-season. But we've still got guys that still aren't sure how to fully press to the way that David wants.
Unless your name's Sutton, when you just press up, you do the pressing for the striker.
Yeah,
Sutton was pressing striker against Wellington.
Or Milan also.
Milan as well, but I've very respect to him. He doesn't stop.
But that's it. But the problem is that there's such a disconnect where you've got 2 strikers the 3 that are pressing up behind, and then you've got some guy that's having to cover mountains worth of space, and then the back 4 that are just 30 metres behind. It's so disjointed, and Wellington only on a couple of times exploited it. Milan exploited it with every single fucking attack pretty much.
Yep.
His structure is still flawed, and we probably should have come away from the game winning it, because that chance that we had with O'Neill playing it over to Risdon and then him crossing it over to Taggart.
Oh yeah.
I'm still in disbelief how he missed that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then when it came to penalties, I thought we were holding our nerve exceptionally well. And then, Brano having the chance to, try and redeem himself among, the Glory fans.
Which he promised he'd do.
Yeah.
Just saying, when he first got here, he was like, "I will show you that I can make it up to you guys." What have you done?
Yeah. And this was a standing, a signing that Stan really wanted as well.
I want to like. No, I'm not doing this.
I know you want to like him.
I want to like all the players, but dude, you score the penalties that knock us out in the grand final in Optus, and then when it comes to scoring for us, you just don't know how to do it.
Chips it over the bar.
What is your problem?
I don't get
Just
it.
put it on target, bro. It's so easy.
Like, in those conditions,
I'll
I
do it on
understand, because
FIFA all
it
the
was
time.
pelting down.
That's something
Literally,
else.
just top
That's
left, 2.5 bars of power. And it
But
goes
like,
in, bro. What are you doing?
is what blew my mind with that pen is you need to shut up. But is that the young guys showed you how it's done.
Yep, they did.
The inexperienced NPL guys came on and said, "Yeah, easy, just tuck it away."
Done.
You somehow forgot the basics of what it's like to take a penalty. You got over the ball wrong. You looked up.
We just fumbled it.
You
There's no need to overanalyze it. He
you are
choked.
so experienced, but how? It's not that.
But he wasn't.
deep,
He wasn't the only one. It was
how?
Caltech as well, who I thought up to that point had been
Yeah.
pretty solid since he came off the bench.
Yeah. No. Oh well. Yeah. And now I can't think of Caltech without that penalty he gave against Milan. The full-on.
Well, so are there any
JBL clothesline from hell, bro. Honestly.
on the Wellington game? I'll just read the stats out finally. What
Oh,
the full time.
yippee.
So
There we go.
64% possession to 36.
In our favour.
16 shots to
No.
15
No.
in our favour. Wellington had 5 shots on target to our 4. They had an XG of 2.48 to our 2.12. We had 85 final third entries to their 69. We had 15 fouls conceded. They had 18. We had 13 corners. They had 11. And then we had 5 yellow cards. They had 2. Were there any final thoughts from the Milan game? Sorry, not the Milan game, the Wellington game, because for
Referee was kind of bad.
me, referee was shit.
Yeah.
But I think for me, this is a disaster.
Guys,
Us getting knocked out of
let's
the cup.
start an Olympic Kingsway podcast instead.
I think
Probably
the fact,
should, yeah.
The fact that they had
Shout out to them, by the way, for being
36%
victory.
possession and more shots on target than us sums it up, really.
Yep.
But yeah, as Will said, shout out to Olympic Kingsway for getting the job done against Melbourne Victory.
That's class.
In my opinion, the best Australia Cup game of all time. In my opinion.
I don't
That's fair,
want to
though.
say an all time, but I'll definitely say it up.
Top
It's up
five.
there.
I would say,
It's up
I would
there.
definitely say
Has to
all
be up
time
there.
in front of 3.3 thousand people.
Yep.
The first ever time a WA NPL or lower club has ever beaten an A-League side, and it
Yep.
was Olympic Kingsway doing it against a full-strength Melbourne Victory.
And they also equalised right at the death.
Yeah.
centre.
equalised in
yeah.
the 90-plus fourth
Yeah.
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 to then win a penalty. And by the way,
By the way.
I know that the people at the Glory don't look at my Twitter, but I know for a fact you guys watch this fucking podcast. Sign Labib.
Yeah, I
Sign
agree.
that man.
I agree.
That guy for 120 minutes had
Non-stop.
Keegan Jelicic and Reno Piscopo
On toast.
on fucking ciabatta. He was not. This man was up and down. This man was running his ass off for 120 minutes. And sure, he took a shit touch here and there, but he still delivered an assist. He still delivered a really good defensive performance.
Yep.
He still had energy to burn. This man was doing great dribbling. He was doing great pressing. He was doing great passing. He had the full package, and he's only 21 still.
was so-
He's younger than me, for fuck's sake.
He was so quick. At one point, the camera couldn't even keep up with him. He literally just.
I know. I know.
He'd be the perfect Risdon understudy.
Who bet? We're talking about how good Labib is. This guy's Labib squared.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be better.
They should both be in the team.
Just sign this fucking guy.
They should both be starting.
We're worried about fucking Risdon understudy.
Yeah.
His brother's already on your team. Just sign the older brother.
Yeah, we're gonna have the Boss brothers. Like,
Or Will the Dacos brothers.
Labib to Labib.
Don't compare them to the Dacos brothers. Absolute wet wipe.
The Popovich brothers.
No, the Edward brothers.
Just to bring it back, are there any thoughts from the Wellington game?
You know what we should do? This is about Wellington.
Yeah.
But this is just topically. Maybe before the season starts, we should rank like a tier list of all the awful losses we've had the last 12 months. Because I think if we do that way, this one might be up there. I know it wasn't a thwacking. It wasn't like a massive loss, but to lose in the way we did
With the lightning strike.
with the strikes and Alex and I being there and
Drenched.
just drenched. My phone couldn't charge for a day because it was full of water.
My phone was on 25% and just died.
Yeah.
The
It
worst
just
one
turned off and didn't
in,
turn back
like,
on.
recent times for me was when we lost 3-1 to Brisbane with the Amos strike.
I'd say 3-1 to Brisbane. That
Yeah.
loss to Wellington that we just suffered.
City.
The City game last season. The Newcastle game last
MacArthur.
season.
So
the
every single
MacArthur
game.
game.
Every single.
You know what? Just every fucking
No,
game.
that's
last
what I'm saying.
season.
We're near tier list of like. Anyway,
No,
but
but-
final thoughts is that.
Disaster.
Yeah, look,
There's no other way to describe it. I feel.
it's a disaster because we just fairly recently. I understand it was a few months ago, but we just beaten them on their own turf last season, one of the last weekends of the
early
season.
May.
And
Yep.
Yeah, it's not like we hadn't been able to beat them before. Our last game, we beat them. This is they're one of their first games, except for the Wrexham game, right?
Meanwhile, we had no preseason
but
games
they
beforehand.
flew over with a young squad in one of the longest flights.
We got told by Kelly Hield. Well, we got told by Kelly Hield. A friend of ours got told by Kelly Hield that they had 2 days preparation.
Yes.
They flew in 2 days before the
Yes.
game with a young squad. They just lost Costa Barbarouses.
Yep.
They had lost several other experienced backroom players, including their 2 best defenders,
Yep.
who were now fucking playing for us.
They didn't have Rufa. Didn't have Payne.
They didn't have Rutan.
Rutan.
They didn't have Rufa. They didn't have Corbin Piper. Yet we still couldn't fucking beat them.
Yeah.
And I will say,
I don't want to hear anything about the weather.
Yeah.
The weather.
the weather.
It was raining for both teams.
Yeah, true.
When is it going to end?
You have to remember it was raining. But as well, I won't name names, but I know everyone who watched the game will know. I will say, I understand it's pre-season, but a few of the lads there look like maybe they enjoyed pre-season a little bit too much.
One more beverage.
One more donut,
More.
just a few players that just look quite a bit like, really? You let yourself go that much?
Well, the fact that we
Can you
didn't.
name names?
No.
Well, the
One
fact.
more huff of the Zaza. please, sir.
The fact we didn't have any MPL games leading up to it because this is sort of
Yes.
important context for the Milan game.
Where's the WA game?
So that's normally in the back end.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But-
they must play Persebaya.
No, just hold on. So when we played Chelsea in Popper's first season, and I think we could all agree that Chelsea game, especially in the second half, we started to look fairly good. And I think most people
Yes.
came away from that game going,
I was
"Shit,
very happy."
Popper's already got them looking
Yeah.
in fairly
And
good."
it was only a
nick."
scrappy Pedro goal that gave them that win.
So we had been in pre-season training in 2018 from the 28th of June, and
Yeah.
then we had 2 MPL friendlies against Perth
Yeah.
Soccer Club, and I think it was Guelph, Croatia, leading up to the game.
What a club.
And then we
Yeah.
played Chelsea on the 23rd. So why, and a question to the club, why did we not have at the very least one MPL game as a warm-up before we played Wellington? I'm sorry, I'm
Again,
using my
James-
brain.
No, yeah, exactly. You're doing it again.
why the-
Stop it.
But we did it last year.
No, James. James.
I'm confused.
James. Give it up, bro. Pack it in.
Clearly,
Yeah.
as much as we're losing brain cells, maybe they are too. But they just have way less to start with. So now they've lost them all. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. That makes too much sense to have some friendlies in a warm-up to a cup game, which we actually would want to win because we've had such a shit.
Because now we have no games. As far as I understand it, it's unlikely we'll be having games in August.
Look, James, as Optimus Prime once said,
Honestly, I don't have a
pack
problem
it up,
with
pack
that.
it in. Glory's in the bin. Question me, that's a sin.
I think this next month we should just honestly just hammer them, and then we can hammer them with games. Like we just need to get the fitness up.
Yeah, get the fit. I agree on that point, but it's like it's still absolutely diabolical that we got knocked out to that to that Wellington team that was basically an MPL side that was getting their average age carried by the 2 Japanese guys who were 30 and 33 respectively.
Yeah.
And it was young guys. Their young guys stood up, as you said, 2 days prep. They played Wrexham, they've lost a lot of their really good players with 2 of them already in our team. And we lost also an opportunity to possibly play in Asia. If we were able to go all the way and win it, which would have been unlikely, but we've still fumbled it.
But I will also say this is credit to Italiano, because
He's a switched-on coach.
He's a switched-on coach. You know, say what you want about tactics or whatever he's got going on the whiteboard on the inside.
Yeah.
But, you know, the way he's able to motivate whatever squad he does have, and the way he seems to be able to push them over the line when it matters. You know, like obviously we saw that first season he did very well. Last season wasn't great, but like you could see how animated he was on the touchline all the time, how much passion he had.